For those of you who do not know, Honor is sort of a sub-brand of Huawei, so basically both are actually manufactured by Huawei but with different target audiences. So we've got our hands on the Huawei Mate S. And since it looked pretty similar to the Honor 7, we decided to pit these two phones against each other. I'm Alicia from KLGadgetTV, and let's see what is the difference between a 2,698 ringgit phone and a 1,399 ringgit phone, both manufactured by Huawei. Firstly, let's talk about looks. At a glance, they might look similar, but on close inspection, the Huawei Mate S is slimmer, lighter, and exudes a classier look that would attract the working upper class market. The curves are finer and the finishing feels sleeker compared to the Honor 7. This is not to say that the Honor 7 is a cheap-looking phone, but if you were to compare the Mate S and the Honor 7 side by side, the Huawei Mate S has a more refined finish and design. While both devices have metal unibody finishing, weighing almost identical, with the Mate S at 156 grams and the Honor 7 at 157 grams. Only 1 gram difference. Now dimension-wise, they are also almost alike, with the Mate S at 149.8 by 75.3 by 7.2mm, while the Honor 7 is at 143 by 71.9 by 8.5mm. The most obvious difference would be the thickness, since that is easily felt when holding it in hand. Another obvious difference would be the size of the display. The Mate S features a 5.5-inch screen, while you will find a 5.2-inch on the Honor 7. The Mate S sports an AMOLED screen which offers better battery life, a better contrast, and since it is slimmer, the device can be made slimmer as well. Now the Honor 7, however, has an IPS Neo display which can be power hungry since it requires stronger backlight. However, images are sharper and offers better color reproduction and viewing angles. When it comes to specs, both the Mate S and Honor 7 sport the same chipset, which is the HiSilicon Kirin 935, the same GPU, which is the Mali T628 MP4, and the same amount of RAM, which is 3GB of RAM on both devices. Now they both also offer microSD support up to 128GB using the second SIM slot, so you can choose either dual SIM or single SIM with external storage. Now the only difference when it comes to storage is the internal storage size. Now let's move on to the most popular feature of smartphones, the camera. The rear camera of the Mate S has a lower megapixel count of 13 megapixel, while with the Honor 7, you will get 20 megapixel instead. They both feature f2.0 aperture on the rear camera, autofocus, and dual LED flash, but the Mate S has OIS while the Honor 7 has face detection instead. The sensor size on the Mate S is also slightly larger than the one on the Honor 7, but how does that translate to photos? Generally, the photos on the Mate S is slightly better than the Honor 7. However, the color of the photos here are warmer compared to the Honor 7, which has a cooler bluish tint. Other than that, the photos are almost identical in terms of clarity. Now on the front, the Mate S and the Honor 7 sport the exact same camera with the 8 megapixel f2.0 26mm lens with an LED flash. Selfies taken with both devices are more or less the same, with the only difference being the color overcast, whether it is warm or cool. Now as for the fingerprint sensor, both devices are quite responsive and launches the phone almost immediately upon touch. Even recording the fingerprint is quick and easy since both are using the same software. So in a nutshell, which phone is better? Despite the many similarities, at the end of the day, it is about looks and budget, of course. Now although the Mate S has very similar specs to the cheaper Honor 7, I do have to admit that the Mate S looks slicker and classier, which is in line with its marketing efforts to cater to the business class. But to pay an extra 1,000 odd more, well, that would really depend on how much you value style. So, which would you prefer? The Huawei Mate S or the Honor 7? Let us know. And this is Alicia from KLGadgetTV signing off.